A guten erev shabbos, everybody. Hi, it's Ephraim Schwartz calling you from here at Carmiel. Just here for another few hours. And Hashem, I will be in the holy city of Tzvas, Ir HaKodesh, for Shabbos. Looking forward to spending a wonderful Shabbos with some chaverim of ours. And I always tell people when I go to Tzvas, Tzvas is Le'elu Le'ela. It's Shabbos was born in Tzvas, and I'm very excited about going there. But we want to get this video off to you first. And this video does not have a sponsor this Shabbos, but hopefully it'll be the last time that happens. We had our weekly email sponsored, and Amir Hashem will get this as well in the coming weeks. It's probably because I didn't put out any ads to get anybody for this Shabbos. But you can sponsor it, any donation of your choice, and you become a partner in our sharing of this Torah with hundreds of people on my status, on Facebook, on my social media, and our weekly WhatsApp blogs and stuff like that. So join us. It's fun, it's exciting, and it's inspiring, and you can have a merit of that. Any donation of your choice, just message me, and we'll work it out. Okay, but on that note, we have a jam-packed Parsha this week, but I want to focus on such a beautiful idea I saw in Rav Margalit's Sefer. Here's a picture of him, by the way. This is the Rav of Carmiel. If you can take a look at him. Just an incredible, incredible person. Beautiful Sefer, Mapik Margolius. He brings down stories and ideas, and he's just one of the greatest speakers that I've heard. And I almost feel bad that I'm a rabbi in my shul speaking because I miss out on his drushas. And there's not many people I would say that about. But anyways, he starts with a Mishnah. It says, Rabbi Levitas Ish Yavne said, Ma'oid have shefal ruach. A person should be very, very humble. We don't have extra ink in the rabbi's times. And to write the word ma'od, that's a lot. Right? Very, very humble. But it's interesting, we find that same word ma'od, we're talking about humility in this week's Parsha as well. We're talking about Moshe Rabbeinu, the most humble of all men. Moshe anav ma'od mikol adam al pnei adam. Moshe is very humble. And what is this concept of being very humble, very, very humble? Why is it so important to be so humble? What is the idea behind this? So, of course, who are we going to learn out of that perhaps from one of the most humble people that we know was the Chafetz Chaim. The Chafetz Chaim was an incredibly humble person. He wrote Sfarim that changed the face of Klal Yisrael, but he lived in a small little place, and his humility was incredible, and I'll share with you a great story. But he has a very interesting idea, where he says that, we have the old question about why is there no rewards of, the Torah doesn't discuss any rewards for doing mitzvos. Of Olam Haba, angels, music, this and that. It talks about physical rewards. And we learn out from there that there is no real reward for the mitzvahs in this world. Rather, that they have, in this world, you guys can talk about physical things, but there's nothing physical in this world that can relate to the idea of a mitzvah. In fact, they came to the Chafetz Chaim once. There was a big torah that was going on. And they told him that, if the Chafetz Chaim, maybe he'll donate one day of his mitzvah of tefillin to go ahead and to for this chus. He's going to take one time he put on tefillin, and Chafetz Chaim laughed at them. He goes, it's different currency. And the mitzvah, putting on tefillin one time, the eternality of that mitzvah, it's just beyond it. It's like talking about monopoly money with real money. Anything physical in this world, it's a different planet, which is actually really nice in this week's Parsha, because Klal Yisrael doesn't get that point in this week's Parsha really much. And why Moshe does, they're busy with, we want physical desires, we want meat, and we're complaining about this and desires. And Moshe's under Mikol Adam. He's beyond all of that because he doesn't have to relate to that. And I'll explain why. So the Chafetz Chaim says that there is nothing physical pleasure in this world that can compare or that can be used as a currency. But there's one thing that's very, very close. One pleasure in this world that is close to Olam Haba. And that's called kavod. It's called honor. Right? Honor is not a physical pleasure. Honor is, my neshama is feeling big. I'm feeling greater. But it's psychological. It's even spiritual, because the true kavod really comes from Hashem. So when a person feels honor, he's feeling a godly feeling. And that honor that one gets, that's the spiritual currency. Any kavod in this world. And all of the honor, the Chafetz Chaim says, that we get in this world, that takes away from what we're going to get in the next world. Wow. Chafetz Chafetz Chaim say that, is huge, right? A person gets covered in this world, then you're experiencing spiritual pleasure here in this world, and you want to avoid that because you're taking off from what you're going to get in the next world. Ouch, right? He says that's what it says in the famous song that people think, Kilo bimoso yikach. When you die, you can't take anything with you. La yered acharayv kivadai. Right, his covet won't come down after him. So they read that pasuk. Metaphorically, that's not the right word I'm looking for, but whatever. They read not phonetically. Okay, whatever. They read that pasuk. I hate when that happens, right? Well, we read that pasuk, right? Kilo bimoso yikacha kol. That when you die, you're not going to take all of the mitzvos and all of the reward and everything that you are expecting your olam is going to be. Why? Lo yered acharav kavodo. The kavod that you got in this world is going to come off of the balance at the end. And that's why it says that you should go ahead and be ma'od shval ruach. Get rid of any covet. Do things hidden. Do things quietly. Right? They came into the Chafetz Chaim. They say that one time he came into a city. He would never tell anybody who he was. And one time he comes into a city. He wants to spend Shabbos. He says, "Don't tell anybody. I'm here. They'll give me too much covet." And he goes in there. And of course, word gets out eventually. Oh, the Chafetz Chaim's here. The Chafetz Chaim here. And they came in and they said, "Why didn't you give us a chance to be mechaber you to this and that?" Chafetz Chaim says to them, Chafetz Chaim could say this. He says, you ever go into you come in erev Shabbos into a house, right? And you go into the house and it smells like kugel. Delicious. Erev Shabbos kugel, right? Or erev Shabbos cholent. He goes, you don't want to eat it all up on erev Shabbos because then you're not going to have anything left on Shabbos. Right? He goes, I don't want to eat up my covet here in this world. I want to save it for Shabbos. I want to save it for Eloh Haba. Unbelievable. And so therefore, ma'od shval ruach. Moshe Rabbeinu, who was the one that got the Torah, he was anav mikol ha'adam, right? Al pnei adam. He was ma'od, but he was more, and therefore he has all of the kavod Hashem. Nothing in this world that they told him they're giving him kavod. He's laughing. That's kavod. Kavod is up there, right? Kavod malei olam is Hashem's kavod, and that's how we get the Torah. When a person is too busy with his ego, and there's no room, Hashem says, for anything else. So, one of the things that is, it's a counterbalance between two worlds. You have, we have to build up our self-esteem in who we can end the school of Slobodka, where the person is working on the godless Adam, how great man can be. And then we have that other balance on the other side. We have Navardik, which is, shiftless Adam, how low that we are, right? And there's that balance that we have to have. But the idea between both of them is understanding that kavod is really nothing here in this world. Any kavod that Slobodka has is because I'm from Hashem. It's coming from Hashem. Any shiftless that is because it's any physical, any Navardik is focusing on removing that. It says, Shir la malais esa ena el harim me'ayin yavai ezri. And I want to daven to Hashem, I want to come close to Hashem. You know where it comes from? Me'ayin. When I realize nothing here in this world can do anything for me. All of my accomplishments, all of my mitzvahs, I'm putting that all aside. It's me'ayin. When I have a recognition of the ayin, of the nothing here, then yavai ezri. That's when my Ezra will come. Beautiful idea. An incredible Shabbos. Looking forward, Amir Hashem, to Shabbos in the Heilige Tzvas. We'll daven over there for you. And remember to subscribe to my weekly email, rabbischwartz@yahoo.com. And you can get this, instead of seeing my statuses, blink, 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 and repeating words and complaining about it, just sign up to my blog, send me a message, say, put me on the weekly group, and then you'll just be able to see it straight off of over there as well. And Amir Hashem, now you can already get in touch with me to go ahead and sponsor next week's video. Have an incredible Shabbos.